things I won't do to save my older brother.
As it turns out, the zombie apocalypse is really nothing to get worked up over, at least according to The Walking Dead's Survival Instinct, a dull and toothless action game that presents a few interesting ideas, but leaves them wallowing in a sea of shoddy execution.
Evacuation procedures begin in 9 minutes.
Survival Instinct is a prequel to the Walking Dead television series that focuses on brothers Daryl and Merle Dixon.
For days in the dark with all them abominations.
Both characters are voiced by the actors who portray them on the show, which is the only instance in which the game flirts with anything resembling a high production value. The bulk of Survival Instinct, a campaign lasting maybe 5 hours, is a drab and awkwardly told story of these two men navigating the Georgia countryside on a road trip gone to hell.
Let's rustle up a new ride. I'm going up that hill to see what I can see.
The game is a stealth-oriented take on first-person action, in which you, playing as Daryl, creep through one zombie-infested town after another in search of whatever medicine or part for your broken-down car you need to make it to Atlanta. Each mission tends to involve you happening upon a town's 1 or 2 remaining survivors. They'll then ask you to go retrieve something of theirs in exchange for giving you precisely what it is that you need. If there was ever a game comprised entirely of fetch quests, this is it. The biggest problem with Survival Instinct is that every zombie is so utterly feckless and predictable that missions become less of a stealthy crawl and more of a routine trudge. Sneak up on a zombie and they can be instantly executed with a knife to the back of the head. Make too much noise and you can just shove them back and go for the brain uncontested. In the event that they get their hands on you, the game will trigger a QuickTime event that allows you to kill them almost instantly.
Suck it.
Each choice can be exploited to your heart's content, resulting in an unsatisfying lack of fear or tension. It's not so much of a zombie apocalypse as it is a zombie inconvenience. Early on, you at least have to make do with improvised weapons like hammers and machetes that force you to hack away at your undead enemies. There are also basic firearms, which you can only use sparingly thanks to limited ammo and the fact that each shot produces enough sound to wake up the neighborhood, one of the more clever touches in the game. Halfway through the campaign, however, you hit a point at which the weapon selection renders an already dead simple combat system almost entirely devoid of challenge. The main offenders are the crossbow and the fire axe. The former allows you to take silent headshots from afar and retrieve your ammo, while the latter lets you instantly lop off a walker's head. Combine this arsenal with easily exploitable zombie behavior, and you can absolutely steamroll your way through the entire second half of the game. What should be a terrifying exercise in survival ends up being a protracted game of whack-a-mole, only with more blood and exposed brain tissue. One of the more truly maddening things about the game is that there are some genuinely interesting ideas floating on the periphery that could have made for a novel experience if there was any real undercurrent of tension to make you care about them. One example is the way you look at a map and choose which route to navigate between missions. Take the highway and you'll conserve fuel, but you won't have much chance to find an untouched residential area to search for supplies. Take the winding back roads and it's just the opposite. You'll burn through fuel, but you can often find a treasure trove of health items, ammo, and other resources. The problem is, every zombie in the game is so innocuous that you quickly reach a point where you cease caring about resources at all. There's just no reason to sweat those details once you realize you're basically the Rambo of the zombie apocalypse. For a game with the word survival in the title, there's really nothing life-threatening about this zombie outbreak. It's more dull than it is scary, and more tedious than exciting. At least in that one specific way, Survival Instinct manages to capture the essence of a road trip from hell.
Dad? Oh, Dad, no! We can... Well, we could...
There! He's too busted up. Nothing can be done now except ease his suffering.
Sorry, brother.